Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Son of the Morning Comics channel, and love is in the air. We're looking here at Savage Avengers number 11. As you can clearly see, Elektra and Doctor Strange have hooked up. Now, I've been a fan of this series since the start. I've really liked the work, the writing that Jerry Dugan has done. Also, big fan of his series, Dead Eyes from Image. If you haven't read that, you really should. It's really good. Now, Savage Avengers, they're at issue 11. They've also had an annual. A very cool team. But this particular issue is very interesting because it basically is a whole book of an extended origin of the big bad villain Kulan Gath that the Savage Avengers are trying to face and defeat. So I thought that that was a really cool thing to have in the middle of the story here. So at the last issue, it was kind of funny. Doctor Strange jettisons Conan back to the Savage Lands, and it's just kind of funny. So the story starts off in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Really nice art in this book. So we see Doctor Strange, and he's talking to somebody. Who's he talking to? He's talking to Elektra. And we learn that they had their first date last night, so I guess Elektra and Doctor Strange are a burgeoning couple. And so, that's cool, no problem there. Strange asks Elektra if she's ever been in a seance, and her response is no, but she's been dead before, so maybe that's kind of similar. So what happens is Doctor Strange got some... In the last battle with Kulan Gath, Doctor Strange got some of his blood on his cloak. And since he has that blood, he can use his astral form to track the history of that person back in time to see what they've experienced, what they've done. And he tells Elektra that he's going to keep telling, even though he'll be in his astral form, he's going to keep telling her what's going on, and if she senses that he's in trouble, she should just kill him. And so we see Doctor Strange here. He's asking the Eye of Agamotto to show him his enemy. So it starts with him sort of flowing through the DNA. And, through the horrors of the monsters, taking a deeper dive into a sorcerer's life can be kind of scary. Now, what he does find is that he ends up, his astral form ends up back in the past, in what he believes to be the Hyperion Age Stygia? I don't know. And that it's a cruel time. It's a time of slaves. Even the youngest of people end up being slaves. And this is the young Kulan Gath, and he wants to be a sorcerer, but the sorcerer here won't teach him. So instead, we see at a very young, early age, Kulan Gath is not the nicest guy in the world, and he murders the sorcerer. And I guess taking a page out of Snatch, he feeds him to the pigs to get rid of the evidence. So now, I guess through this, he vows that he's never going to be a victim again, that he is going to become a sorcerer. He does take this sorcerer's spell book, but can't really make too much of it. But he does start to gain powers. As you can see here, he uses his powers to unfortunately harm a dog. then he goes to this tower here, which Doctor Strange notes has to be a sorcerer's stronghold because he can sense it. But there's this snake guardian, which Gath slays with a spell. So we can see he's already gaining power. And next he goes to the Sorcerer Supreme of that time, whose name is Mekri Ra, and wants to become his student. Now, he doesn't want him as a student, kicks his butt, basically banishes him and humiliates him, and of course now Gath is hell-bent on revenge against Mekri Ra. But he needs to learn more, so he goes to some more low-level sorcerers and looks to them to help him gain the secrets from this book that he has stolen. Now, one of them comments that if he can't unlock the secrets of the text himself, then he was never meant to have or possess that knowledge. You can see he's not too impressed by that sentiment. So, what does he do? He decides he's going to just maul them all. And, hey, it wasn't his first murder, but it was definitely his most brutal and his most primal, according to Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange doesn't understand how he managed to elude justice, but he did. And so and Doctor Strange, and this is kind of interesting because this equates what Doctor Strange said earlier, where he says that, you know, there's knowledge in blood. The blood from the cloak is allowing him to travel and see all of this stuff happening. But as he is seeing Kulan Gath and his history, his bloody history, he realizes that there is both knowledge and power in blood as well. And you can see Kulan Gath is just getting more and more powerful. Got some ads. And so you can see here, Doctor Strange is starting to get a little bit worried. But he's going through Kulan Gath's history, and, you know, he sees that he took a bride, but he only took the bride so that he could kill her and then become more powerful. And then he sees that this is the elder god that Kulan Gath worships, and he then moves on to the time in Kulan Gath's life where he first encounters Conan. Now, what he realizes here is that Conan is actually a very, very strong foe for Kulan Gath, and that he may have, you know, been a little too hasty in banishing Conan, because clearly Conan is doing some good in his fight against Kulan Gath. So next we see here, this is the scene where Kulan Gath returns to Mekri Ra, the Sorcerer Supreme at that time, and he's got him strapped up there and he's torturing him. And he comments, "You may have defeated me, but you will never be the Sorcerer Supreme. You will learn nothing." And so that it's kind of a cool thing to say there. So now we learn that Kulan Gath has discovered a new way to get to absorb powers, and that's basically by gutting these people and eating their organs. And kind of brutal, but it is what it is. Now here's where things kind of get interesting. Well, they were already interesting, but I really like this part of it here, where Kulan Gath thinks that the Sorcerer Supreme is talking in gibberish, but in fact he's sensing Doctor Strange's astral form and he's talking to him. He says, "Gath can't understand us. I'm speaking your language. I know you're here, sorcerer. Reveal yourself." And Doctor Strange says, "Mekri Ra, I'm sorry, this is my past and I cannot change it. And Mekri-Ra is fully aware that Doctor Strange is powerless to help him in that situation. Strange says, this is the end, though I could not escape it. I tried everything, sending Gath away, slaying him, he always returned. I know more about him now, I will stop him. And then Mekri-Ra says, I think not. Nature is balanced. Look to the apex predator that shadows Kulan Gath. The mad sorcerer has been slain many times, but perhaps not by the right weapons. Doctor Strange remarks, of course, thank you. At which point Kulan Gath has had enough of the gibberish and he slices the sorcerer's throat. Now, Doctor Strange returns back from his astral form, and he comments that he wishes he hadn't dismissed Conan as easily as he did. Elektra remarks, lucky for you, I got Conan's number. And Doctor Strange ends this story by saying, we're going to need it. Assemble our friends. We are going to war. So I think that this story is just heating up. I think that this is one of the more underrated Marvel series that are out there right now. And if this is the cover for the next issue, it sure is a cool looking cover. But like I said, I think this is a very underrated series right now. I think the writing has been really good. The art has been good. It's a really good story that just seems to be heating up now. So I would suggest, I know that at least part of it is available in a trade paperback. I would highly suggest picking up the Savage Avengers. I think it's a really fun story. It's a really enjoyable story. So, you know, looking forward to number 12. So, thank you for joining me here on the Son of the Morning Comics channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit me on Twitter at sonofthemorning7. Hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos come out. Leave some comments. Be nice to each other. If you've been watching this in the morning, afternoon, or evening, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye.